Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com. The HTC Inspire 4G and the HTC Thunderbolt are two of the hottest 4G smartphones available today. In this video, we're going to put them head to head. Let's get to it. Okay, so previously we had compared the HTC Thunderbolt with the iPhone 4, and if you want to see that video, we'll put an annotation up right now and at the end of the video, so you can jump to that if that's a more relevant comparison for you. So let's talk about these two devices. We're going to start off with pricing because they have different pricing schemes. The AT&T Inspire 4G will run you $99 with a new 2-year agreement. You'll probably want to add a data plan to that, the 2GB data plan for $25, and if you want to tether, it's another $20 on top of that for 2GB of data transfer. Now the Thunderbolt is much more expensive. It's $249 with a new 2-year agreement, and the data plan that you'll probably get is the $30 per month unlimited plan. So yes, it's $5 more expensive than the Inspire 4G, but unlimited data, can't argue with that. Also, it has a tethering plan, $20 extra for 2GB of tethering, which will allow you, for both of these devices, to tether with 8 devices, which is a pretty cool function to have. Now, another thing to note is that the Thunderbolt comes with a 32GB microSD card. The Inspire 4G comes with just an 8GB microSD card, so if storage is a big deal to you, the Thunderbolt is definitely something that shines a little bit more in that respect. But the price is quite different. You're paying $150 extra. What are you paying for exactly? Why the big premium? Well, the Thunderbolt has LTE, and that is a new technology. It's very much sought after, and it's a really big deal. As we're going to see in a few minutes, when we compare the download speeds on these two devices, LTE is much faster and has far greater potential than AT&T's HSPA Plus network. Another way that these phones are different, and we're going to talk about specs in a minute, is that the Thunderbolt has a front-facing camera. The Inspire 4G does not, so whether you use the front-facing camera really is up to you, and if that's important to you. In terms of other specs, they are very, very similar. They both have a 1 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, both have 768 megabytes of RAM, both have an 8 megapixel camera that takes 720p video, so really a lot of things that are the same. In terms of hardware, we actually like the Inspire 4G better. Show you why. First of all, it's much, much thinner. After using the Thunderbolt, it's kind of a Desire HD. The Inspire 4G feels really thin. As you can see, it almost looks half as thin as the Thunderbolt, and of course the Thunderbolt has a 4G modem and a CDMA modem inside, so it needs the extra space. Additionally, the Thunderbolt has a larger battery, 400 milliamp hours compared to 1230 milliamp hours on the Inspire 4G. So far, we're finding battery life to be a little bit better on the Inspire 4G, which makes sense because the LTE modem probably uses more battery than does a 3G modem. Now also with the Thunderbolt, you get this kickstand, which is kind of cool, although who knows how often you'll be using that. It's nice to have, but it definitely adds some depth to it because they've had to build out sort of this part of the phone in order to accompany the kickstand. Back here, things look kind of similar. Dual LED flash, as mentioned. The speaker on the Thunderbolt is actually behind the kickstand, but that doesn't really impact anything. It's a loudspeaker. Speaker on the Inspire 4G is up here. We've got metal unibody construction on the Inspire 4G, which looks and feels awesome. Over on the Thunderbolt, you get sort of a plastic back battery cover. It doesn't feel as sturdy in hand, but it's not too bad. It's an HTC phone. Build quality is always going to be pretty good. So let's turn these back over and turn them on and talk about sort of how they compare in other ways. So here we've got pretty much the same home screen setup. They're doing exactly the same thing at the same time, which is perfect. So let's talk about the bandwidth speed. We're going to open up speedtest.net. These are both over Wi-Fi. We're not going to run the network speeds, but I just want to show you some results that we've gotten. Now, AT&T's 4G network, and we've talked about this a lot on Pocketnow, is kind of like a phantom network. We haven't really seen it anywhere except in Detroit. It's certainly not around here. I've run benchmark after benchmark. The best data speed I've seen is about 1.7 megabits per second down. This is definitely over 3G and not their 4G. And upload speeds are paltry. They're worse than a 3G phone because this device doesn't support HSUPA. So if you don't have the HSPA Plus, you revert back to HSDPA without HSUPA. I know that sounds confusing. What it basically means is you think you're getting a 4G phone with the Inspire 4G, but as of today, it's really hard to find their 4G network. On the other hand, Verizon's 4G LTE network has a lot of penetration in most major markets around the United States. And you can pull up their coverage map. We'll put a link in the video so you can see that. But look at the speeds that I've been getting. So on average, probably about 6 to 7 megabits per second. These upload speeds are not accurate because the speedtest.net application doesn't work with the LTE network yet. Kind of interesting there. So if you want the fastest device in terms of data connection, it's no question that the Thunderbolt is the one to get. And just for the heck of it, let's compare them over the same Wi-Fi network and see if there's any significant difference. Go. They should be pretty much the same, and it looks like they're going to be the same. Okay, so about 10 on each down and about 10 on each up. Okay, so no difference over Wi-Fi, although that was certainly expected. Now, both of these devices have a Super LCD screen, 800 by 480 WVGA resolution, although I gotta say that the screen on the Thunderbolt looks a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's coming across on the video, but it just seems that the Inspire 4G has a bit of a purplish tint, and maybe that's because we're in the wrong screen. But even if we go over here, I know it's very, very subtle, but I think the Thunderbolt screen is superior to the Inspire 4G. Let's see how they perform on the web. It will probably come to no surprise as you that they will perform pretty much the same on the web because they have the same internals. We're also going to run a quadrant benchmark test in a minute. So let's go to Engadget here and here. There we go. And go, they're off. They both have plugins set to on demand, so Flash elements shouldn't slow it down. Okay, they came up with the site at the exact same time. Let's get to the bottom here. We'll go to desktop view. If we can do that. Whoop, I think I went too far there. Okay, let's try that. And probably from here you can see the purplish tint on the Inspire 4G. Let's go desktop. Okay, missed that. We're going to stop that, not let it load. Okay, we'll let it load, and we'll just refresh the page. And this particular test won't be for speed. We'll click on another link and get it at the same time. It's harder than it looks, gotta say, to click 2 links at the same time. Then you get to 3 devices on the screen, and wow, that's a big challenge. Okay, so let's try to get these at the same time. Make it a little bigger, so you got a bigger target. See which one loads it faster. Good, at the same time. Again, these should end up exactly the same, pretty much. Okay, so the Inspire 4G actually finished. Wow, something's happening with the Thunderbolt. It is taking its time. Perhaps this is an anomaly. Let's assume that it is. We'll go back to the previous page, and we'll try another link. Maybe there's something wrong with that page at the last minute there. These phones also both have an LED notification light. You can probably see them blinking, one here and one here, which is a very, very useful feature, so you don't have to always turn on the phone on your screen to see if you have a new message. So let's do these. Okay, the Inspire 4G finished again. It looks like the Thunderbolt's done. It's just the status bar is showing it is still loading, but the page is completely there. So we're going to have to call it a tie because it wouldn't make any sense that these devices would have different speeds of loading web pages. Let's take a more quantitative look at the benchmark. We're going to go into quadrant, run them at the same time, and see if anything is conclusive there. All right. And we'll be back in a minute. All right, and we're done here, so click yes. Let's see what we get. Okay, so the Inspire 4G 1718, the Thunderbolt 1729. That's not big enough of a difference to say one device is faster than the other. If you're looking for speed in terms of day-to-day operation, they are the same device at the end of the day. They both have the same specifications, basically. A final measure that we can look at, and this is not that big of a deal, is how much bloatware comes inside of the app tray. So let's go to the top, and on the Thunderbolt there seems to be more junk. We've got BitBop, Blockbuster, of course, comes. We have City ID, and actually I can sort this by date so that we can kind of filter out the applications that I've downloaded. And you can see here, the last app I downloaded here was Voice. So we've got BitBop, Blockbuster, City ID. Just kind of looking for the third-party apps. Let's Golf. A lot of these are trials, which is crazy. They should include the full software if you're paying this much. Mobile IM is added. Rhapsody, Rock Band, Slacker, VZCast 1, VZCast 2, VZCast Navigator, Visual Voicemail, and TuneWiki. There are a lot of pieces of crapware on the Thunderbolt. Let's see, here on the Inspire 4G, let's go down. The most recent app downloaded was... a lot of apps on here. Okay, Adobe Reader. So, added to this is Asphalt, AT&T Family Map, AT&T Code Scanner, AT&T Navigator, Blockbuster. Going down the list, Live TV, My AT&T. Let's see what else. Wi-Fi hotspot, which is good to have. YP Mobile. So certainly more junk on the Thunderbolt, and it's annoying because you can't even delete the junk. If you go into the add remove screen of the settings, they don't even let you delete BitBop, for example. I mean, I don't want BitBop to be in my application drawer. Just a little minor annoyance. So at the end of the day, these devices are very, very similar. If you're looking for the thin device that feels good in the hand, it's lightweight, the Inspire 4G is the one to go with. If you want the fastest internet possible over cellular data, no question you want to go with the Thunderbolt. If you want to do a lot of data, unlimited data, the Thunderbolt's the one to go for. If you want a lower price up front and a lower data plan each month, the Inspire 4G is the one to go with for you. So again, hopefully this video was a little bit helpful in helping you understand the differences between these hot 4G devices. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. That's it for now.